All right, what's going on, guys? So let me show you guys how I was able to make $1,900 this week. And it was a short week too. We traded from Monday through Thursday. Stock market was closed on Friday. But let's start off with how I did on Monday, and we'll work our way up to Thursday, right? So on Monday, I basically everyone was pretty bullish right off the open, right? And once the market opened, we did get rejected hard off of this 411, 412 area. And we got a big sell-off, right? We came all the way back down to these pre-market low areas. And at the same time, if you move to SPX correlated with, right, if we go to Monday at that same exact time, it was around here, it was over here, right? So at that same exact time, look at it, 8:10 a.m., right? SPX came to 4,100, which is a key psychological level. So I was looking at that, right? So I ended up buying calls off that 4,100 psychological level, and I rode the move up all the way to 40, yeah, pretty much up here, 4120. I wrote it all the way to the top. But I did, being in zero DTs and this pullback right here that happened did kind of affect my contracts, but I was up about 40% and then back down to here. I was like at break even, but my stop loss was below that 4,100 level. So it was just a tough hold. I was in this trade for from 8 a.m. to, basically close. So I was in this trade for over 4 hours. And let me go back to SPY, right? The confluence that I had, right? The confluence I had behind that on was over here, right? SPY had also sold off from this level, and that came down at that same time at 8:10 a.m., right? Came to that pre-market low. And look at what else is at that pre-market low, the 200 SMA. So that was kind of like my confluence. SPX was at 4,100. SPY was at its pre-market low and the 200 SMA. So I took calls off that level, never broke back below the 200 or that level, rode it back up to the top. So I made a little bit over $500 on Monday. Now let's go to Tuesday, right? On Tuesday, we did get a little bit of a sell off. I did take a couple losses. I tried taking a bounce here and I lost about $20. I just got stopped out quick. And I had taken QQQ and took a small loss because I tried taking puts and then it bounced back up, right? So I was down 120 and I lost another. So the first move I was down 20 and on QQ I lost 120. So I was down like 140 on the day. But then I just stayed patient. I was like, okay, I don't want to make too many mistakes back to back to back. So I took a break. I stepped away, and I came back a little bit later and we got this little sell off. We broke 411 again. Once we broke 411, broke with some strength, came back, retested. We had the 9, the 200, the VWAP, the 21. So it was a lot of confidence in that area. I bought some puts right here and I wrote it down to low day and I made like $400 on that trade. So but with the losses that I had took, that 400 minus the losses I took, I ended $283 on Tuesday. So, right, Monday, 500, Tuesday, 283. Let's go to Wednesday, right? Wednesday, this was my favorite and best trade of the week. It was a nice bear flag. You'll see it a lot better on a 1 hour time frame. If I go to the hourly, it was just a bear flag on an hourly time frame. And I was just looking for that area where, like, where am I going to take this reject off of, right? And we had the 9, the 21 right here on the small time. But you guys can see that bear flag, right? You guys can see that bear flag right there. And if I go to the 5 minute time frame, you go to Wednesday. Once we came up to this 200 SMA, I scaled in up there and I literally wrote it down to the previous day low, which was 407. So you guys can see 407 right here. I took the reject up here and this move was like 80%. This move was 80%. So, I was in and out of these quick. I made a little bit over $800. So I think I made exactly 860. But then I did like a lotto trade later on that day. Only put up 40 and they did go to zero. So I ended the day with 820 on Wednesday, which is still good. Um, and we go to Thursday, right? Thursday was really, really, I really like my execution on Thursday. I did have to leave early, so I wasn't able to like trade more, but I did make $300 on Thursday. And if you go here, see how I marked the previous day lows, like how I did here. I marked the previous day low here, and that was my target that day. So when we opened up on Thursday, we came to the previous day low, which was here. And you see how we held up that level that previous day. So I was looking, are we gonna hold up this level or are we gonna break this level? So I had two scenarios in mind. If we were to have broken that previous day low, I would have taken the break and retest back to the downside. But if you look at these candles here, we never broke below that previous day low. Matter of fact, we formed some bullish candlesticks off that previous day low. And this candlestick right here popped up with strength. So that was just me reading straight price action, no indicators, no nothing, right? Just straight price action and volume. Being able to see that strength pop up, I hopped in here with the stop loss at the low day and I wrote it up to 407. So I caught these four candles all the way up on SPX and I made, a little bit over. I made 400, but I had taken a small loss earlier. So I ended the day with like $300 on Thursday. And you can see this day was it was clear as day, just a nice uptrend day. So I kind of wish I would have been able to stay on a little bit longer, but it is what it is, all right. And Friday, of course, the stock market was closed. So yeah, that's how I made $1,900 this week. So, it was a good week. All praise to the Most High first and foremost. I wanted to cover one more thing. I believe it was QQQ, right? If you go to QQQ, everyone was so bearish, right? Because we were starting to sell off for the past 2 days, but we had came to a big level of demand. So like this was another confluence that I had, right? It was this previous high over here, and it came back over here on Thursday, which is another reason why we bounced, right? So looking at all these at the same time kind of gave me a confluence as to why we were going to reverse, right? So I grabbed the recent high on the higher time frame, right? So when I go to the higher time frame, what do we have? We're clearly uptrending. This was a previous high. See how we get rejected here, previous highs. And now when we break above them, we have to come back and retest that level. And there was two scenarios here as well. If QQQ would have broken below that 312 level, then yes, we would have definitely came lower. But in this scenario, it's just a higher low. You can see how we form higher lows here, and this is just another higher low. So coming into Monday, I definitely, us holding that higher low right there could definitely get us somewhere back up to this recent high, and that recent high will be a big level of resistance, so we got to pay attention to how we approach that level for us to make our next move, so that's why price action and volume is so important. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys gained some value off of it, and that's how I made $1,900 this week.